Hey, what is up, people? Skywalker Hendrix here, back with another video for you guys today. And today, this is a video I've been thinking about making for a while now. And, now's the as better time as any, because as a lot of you guys know, The Acolyte did get canceled. I don't know if, Season 2 was ever even confirmed, but season 2 I guess got canceled, even though, again, like I said, I don't know, I don't remember ever getting an announcement for a season 2, so this is kind of weird that they, canceled a show that never really was specified being more than one season. Obviously, the ending of the show left it very open for season 2 and almost really kind of encouraged a season 2. So, if anything, the way it ended implied that there would be a season 2. Now, obviously, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what you viewed of the show, I personally think the show was decent, but was there were some really good aspects to it. Now, instead of canceling it, this video is really just going to be a Skywalker Hendrix ramble. I mean, you already know what it is. But I'm going to be talking about the Disney Plus issue. Now, we're more focused on the Star Wars side, but I think this is a problem with Disney Plus in general, not just Star Wars. I think it is everything on Disney Plus, unfortunately, has suffered from this weird rule of, they act like every show has to be 8 episodes. Every show has to be, it can't go over 23 minutes. Can't go over a half hour for an episode. Andor has been the one exception, which is just really odd that, I don't know, they kind of, really weird they gave this show kind of the rule break, I guess you would call it. Allowed this show to bend the rules of Disney Plus. Now, obviously, we're going to be talking about the Star Wars side, but I think it plagues Marvel as well. I mean, obviously, their shows have not been up to snuff according to the fans, the critics, what you call it. I actually think Star Wars has had a better showcase on Disney Plus than Marvel, but regardless, we're going to be talking about Star Wars for the most part. But really, like I said, this is a Disney Plus issue, and I don't know what it is, but the shows on Disney Plus just have not gotten the love, care, effort put in. Now, I am currently rewatching Ahsoka, and I really, really think that is a good show. But there are aspects of it that are held back because of these Disney Plus rules that are really just random and, I think, a disservice to storytelling in general. Now, it ultimately feels like a commercialized way of making content. You want your 8 episodes, you want your 30-minute episodes. Well, now you are constricting the storytelling. These stories are not played out 100% how they should be, or naturally. These stories are not being constructed in a cohesive, natural way. These are stories trying to fit an already established pace, I guess you could say, and for a lot of these stories, obviously that has not been working. I mean, we've seen it time and time again that a show comes out and people were like, yo, that was way too short. It's not that it was bad, it was just we didn't get enough of it, and it didn't really get that time to breathe and develop as a real story that really hits should. And I don't know what the problem is now, going back to the Acolyte and the cancellation. Instead of them just canceling the show, I think a much better way of going about this situation would have been to come out, make a statement. This is something that I think Disney in general just really needs to do. They need to come out, talk to the fans. That is something that the transparency between the company and the fans has just not been there at all. And I'm a Star Wars fan. I want to see Disney succeed with some of my two of my favorite franchises, Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, they have such a huge fan base built in already, and the lack of transparency, I think, is just hurting them so much. I think what they should have done, someone should have come out from Lucasfilm and said, okay, we have heard the complaints with the Acolyte, really with Disney Plus in general. I think they need to kind of admit their shortcomings in a way and really make an effort to do better, because in my opinion they have been trying to capitalize on the fans with the least amount of effort, with maximum content, with, like I said, no effort. I mean, not no effort, obviously there are tons of people that put in so much work to make these shows, and this is not a dig at them at all. I mean, those people are so talented and so amazing, and I want to see more. I mean, like I said, the Ahsoka show is behind The Mandalorian. I mean, it's pretty close up there with one of my favorite shows from Star Wars. Obviously, I do think, talking overall shows, I think the Mandalorian is a little bit better, and the Clone Wars and Rebels are just peak Star Wars in my opinion. But Ahsoka is it's right there. I really think this show had some of the greatest new things introduced into Star Wars, bringing Legends ideas into Star Wars, bringing things over from animation and stuff we've loved for years in the animated Star Wars space into live action, and really conveying some of George's most crucial themes of Star Wars were in that show. And I loved the Ahsoka show. So I do think, though, it would have worked better as like a 12 episode series, and the budgets for these shows are wildly underused. They are not putting every penny into these shows. The Acolyte, I'll put this into perspective. I've been saying this to some of my buddies. The Acolyte was $180 million. I don't know if anyone's here seen Dune 2. Dune 2 was $190 million. So a $10 million difference. They both basically were $200 million. Now, like I said, I don't know how many of you guys have seen Dune 2, but that movie is a visual masterpiece. It is a storytelling masterpiece. That movie is chef's kiss. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And you see the difference in quality. Now, I think The Acolyte had some of the best Star Wars moments we've gotten in a long time. Some of the coolest things they brought into Star Wars canon, but it also had some of the worst. I mean, the whole Osha and May storyline, I've been saying it, should have not been in the show. I mean, it was so not compelling at all. People wanted to see more of Kymir and more of Soul. Now, that should have been the main antagonist and protagonist of the show. the whole May and Osha thing, dog water. I mean, no offense to the writers of the show, but I'm sorry, it just didn't work like how I think they thought it was going to work on the drawing board. And you can just really feel that quality aspect. And I think if they greenlight a show, they need to just let these shows become what they become. Obviously, you need a budget and all that good stuff, but look at Andor. I mean, Andor is, people say it's one of the better, Star Wars Disney Plus shows, and it might not be the most Star Wars. It's not my favorite, but you see the quality and the care and the effort that they put in, and they just need to let these people actually craft an actual story. Now, I think with the Ahsoka show, Dave clearly did what he could with what he was given. I even think Dave was, constricted and refined to some of these weird, like the 8-episode thing. Like, why does every show have to be 8 episodes? Why does every show have to be 30 minutes long? Like, come on. I feel like the fans deserve better. I've been trying my hardest to stick up for Disney, and I do think that there are plenty of fans that felt betrayed by the sequels, and maybe they're going a little harsher than is warranted. But I think there are some definite criticisms of the Disney Plus like the Disney Plus way of doing things, I guess you could say. Now, I just think we need some real quality. Now, the Mando movie, that little trailer sneak peek thing really gave me hope. It looked like the effort and the care and the budget was being used, to the full extent. I mean, we really just need some great stories, some amazing quality in the product we're paying for. We are paying for this product. I think we do deserve a little better quality and a little better handle on these things. Now, I think nostalgia plays pretty heavily into these things, and even in my eyes, you can't expect Star Wars to still deliver on that feeling you did as a kid. Now, it can come close, and you can, at the end of a show, you can be like, that was amazing, and it made me feel like how I felt as a kid. But it's never gonna be sitting, for me, it's never gonna be sitting watching Attack of the Clones with my dad and my mom, and eating popcorn and playing with my action figures while I'm watching. Like, it's never gonna be that, and I don't expect it to ever be that again. But it still can be great, and I'm not saying it hasn't been, and I think for the majority, I have really enjoyed everything they have been putting out. But I can definitely see the dip in quality overall, and just the lack of care, in my opinion. And in my opinion, them trying to get a quick buck out of the Star Wars franchise, and in my opinion, that is just an easy way to piss off a lot of fans and get a lot of people to unsubscribe, and literally and figuratively unsubscribe. I mean, people are just sick of the new show, and it's 8 episodes, and you know what you're getting. You know already what is going to be delivered when that comes out. I mean, it sucks to say, and it sucks to admit when your favorite franchise is maybe not being handled the greatest, and it sucks. But I think we are very close, and with things like Ahsoka and The Mandalorian and Andor and the Bad Batch was so good, guys. I mean, there are definite like glimpses of hope and real signs of improvement, but really I think it comes down to Disney being held accountable, and they really need to come out and be transparent with the fans and tell us, hey, we realize we kind of misstepped here. And sometimes all it takes is admitting your failures. And dude, we're all trying to be better. I mean, that's the human experience. We're getting kind of deep here, but at the end of the day, we're all improving every day, trying to better ourselves and do better. So Disney, if anyone is watching from Disney or Lucasfilm, probably not, but hey, you never know. Just put the care in, hire the people that do care, if the people that are in charge right now don't. And I think Dave Filoni, he needs to be in charge of Lucasfilm. I really think he is the man for the job, and really holds the company to the standards that George did. I mean, he is the apprentice. I mean, he's the dude. He gets it. And like I said, I think Ahsoka is just a testament to that, but it still was maybe a little bit underwhelming based on some of the stipulations that Disney Plus is holding Lucasfilm to. And I just, some accountability would be nice, and I hope everything from here on out, hopefully them canceling the Acolyte, even though probably not what I would have done, just straight out canceling it. Like I said, I wish they would have just come out and said, hey, we know we messed up here. We know there were some really cool parts in this series, but we know that it did kind of rub fans the wrong way, and admitting the failure, but also committing to do better for the fans. I think that would have went a long way. Now, hopefully, overall, they got the message. I mean, it sucks it had to be delivered that way. I know there were a lot of fans that were being pretty unreasonable with their criticisms. While there were real criticisms with the show, I don't think it broke canon or anything like that. It was just not the greatest, most captivating show. But that being said, guys, let me know your comments down in the comments. I mean, I'm very curious to what you guys think the state of Star Wars is. I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet, but it might be called The State of Star Wars, and, maybe what's wrong with Star Wars. I don't know, but I think you're a fool if you don't realize that Star Wars is in a weird place. I think you're a fool to not realize that Disney as a whole is in a really weird place. I mean, Marvel is there too. Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine was amazing, and is doing all kinds of numbers, and was kind of a return to form for Marvel. But I really just think Star Wars needs to get some of that action of, let's just go back to the basics. And I really think after seeing the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer for the movie, it really feels like a return to form, a return to what we all loved about the Mandalorian. And really, I just think that is going to benefit Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney in the end, and the fans, of course. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shout out to my channel members. Y'all are some G's. Keep it real. As always, may the Force be with you. Ayy.